thank her for generously sharing her talents. And the kitchen crew, my old catering partner, Dr. Henderson, and I realize we're not as young as we used to be. And Lindley, my always sidekick in St. Mary's Kitchen, and my new sidekick in St. Mary's Kitchen, Gary Tam, helped to fix this dinner for you. Our wait staff, and most importantly, our cleanup crew. They're the ones that carry the big load in these activities that we have. We would be remiss at the celebration of the 30th anniversary of Mary's Kitchen if we did not recognize the volunteers at the kitchen who keep it operational every day of the week. There aren't many of the volunteers here tonight, but if you are a volunteer, raise your hand. And I'd like to recognize the backbone of Mary's Kitchen, our director, Marilyn Wiggins. As part of Marilyn's duties as parish administrator at St. Mary's, Marilyn acts as director of the kitchen, and this position involves everything from being called about a stopped-up drain to a difficult volunteer. She keeps us in line with our spending, whether we want a new freezer or an extra can of green beans. And her attention to detail is reflected in our impeccably kept financial records. Marilyn is a constant reminder to us of the original mission of the kitchen, and we thank her for her devotion to that mission. 30 years ago, a much younger version of myself sat in this very room along with many of you and participated in a discussion led by then Rector of St. Mary's, Father John Russell. Father Russell sought to find a way that St. Mary's could assume a leadership role in giving back to our community. What better way, it was decided to do this, than to give to those the least among us, those so often viewed as less than or a nuisance in our society. It was agreed that the simple act of feeding a meal to those in need was the best way to begin this ministry of serving the poor. And so, out of those discussions, Mary's Kitchen was born. In a small space on what I think was North Street, a group of people of all faiths and no faith joined together to serve soup and sandwiches at midday. Over the next 30 years, the kitchen would relocate. Commercial equipment would be purchased or donated, and from a very basically equipped facility, as many as 180 people would be served a hot meal each day. In keeping with the initial bylaws of Mary's Kitchen, if anyone shows up, they are served, regardless of need, 7 days a week. No questions are asked. The kitchen now has an operating budget of $55,000 annually. As a United Way agency, we receive funds from the United Way each year. This year, that amount was $14,000. The remainder comes from churches and individuals and grants. The kitchen is run entirely by volunteers. St. Mary's Church provides administrative services. Aside from USDA surplus food product and emergency FEMA funding when warranted, we receive no governmental assistance. The cost of a meal at the kitchen is $1.22. We would not be able to provide the services that we do without an active food recovery program, where companies such as Select Food Catering and Piggly Wiggly donate product that would otherwise be thrown away for us to be used for the kitchen. Our partnerships with companies like BB&T, who chose us as a partner nonprofit this year, supplying us with volunteers for a month. Those volunteers identified the need for new chairs in our dining room and purchased them. And for our relationship with companies such as Spirit Air System, who for 2 years has chosen us as a recipient of the proceeds of their golf tournament fundraiser, resulting in $20,000 in grant money being awarded to the kitchen. And the Senior Beta Club from Parrott Academy, under the direction of Tara and Dick Archie, who identified the need for the kitchen to be opened on Sundays and took on that task. You know, a basic tenet of our faith is that we are charged to love our neighbor as ourselves. It's easy to love our neighbor who's just like us. It's harder to love our neighbor who's an alcoholic or a drug addict or who has made poor decisions that have resulted in them being in a difficult situation. But that is what we try to do at the kitchen. Remembering one of our favorite Jewish sayings, many people worry about their own stomachs and other people's souls. The real task is to do the opposite, to worry about other people's stomachs and the state of your own soul. 1 in 5 people in Lenore County are deemed to be food insecure or not knowing where their next meal might come from. I'm not a psychiatrist, although I like to play one. But I feel that a large number of the people that we serve the kitchen suffer from mental illness that results in them using drugs and alcohol to quiet their demons. If you made me God for the day, I would have a decent mental health care system, and I think that we could eliminate a large part of the need for what it is that we do at the kitchen. But age has taught me to acknowledge when lofty goals are beyond my reach, and to acknowledge that which I can do to help. And so we must continue with this mission, because we know that poverty will always be a part of our society. It's part of the human condition. Indeed, Jesus himself, toward the end of his life, made the comment that the poor would always be with us. Our work tonight is more than an effort to raise money to feed the hungry. It's an effort to remind us of our potential. That's not to say that we're not already doing amazing things in this community. And when I look out in this room, I know that many of you stand on the forefront of those efforts. But I know that there is always our privilege and responsibility to do more. And that begins with following in the footsteps of those who have given sacrificially to enable us to do this good work. And so I conclude tonight by making several asks. I ask that you think about Father John Russell and others alike and what their efforts say about our potential in our community to do for those the least among us. To those in my generation, but more importantly, to those younger than myself, I ask you to remember that we follow in the footsteps of giants, those who have given so much to allow us to be here today and to have this potential. I ask that we follow in their footsteps along their rewarding journey of stewardship and sacrifice. And lastly, I ask that you continue to support Mary's Kitchen with your prayers, with your positive thoughts, your kind words, your good deeds, and of course, with your donations. Thank you.
35 40 minutes. Going to keep time flipping. I'm really a new boy on the block. When the law school, the dean always said that the law was a jealous mystery, jealous mistress. It's taken me 2 years to get rid of my mistress. I was retired about 2 years ago. But I'm getting close now. I've enjoyed, as a new boy on the block, working in Mary's kitchen. But excuse me, I forgot. Donna, too, you got a call from London about 15 minutes ago. I think, Donna, things travel fast now. I think it was the Lord, the Countess Grantham. She had heard about this dinner already, believe it or not. They're having a royal dinner tonight. Now, for the king, now keep in mind, time, 30s, no queen. But wasn't this just a fantastic meal and so much hard work put in Nella hands. It was in the tradition of Downton Abbey, I think, without a doubt. I really don't have much more to say other than what Mary said. She's covered most of it, except continue to give if you've been giving. If you haven't been giving, we ask you to start giving. Put it on your list for the year. And start tonight if you can. Basically, we are assured of, June Cummings is here, we are assured of basically United Way funds. This year we got $15,000 in a tough year for the United Way, so we're appreciative of that. We're assured of USDA foods, some, and some FEMA. That's really questionable because of the way FEMA works, and it's based on emergency situation. So really what we're counting on is donations. That's really what we're counting on, because we're up during 2 or 3 weeks ago, up to 1,000 meals a week. That's basically where we are. 7 days going. It hasn't been long since there were only 4 or 5 days going, and we're struggling to get maybe the 5th day. But volunteers have come through, and we're gaining each day. And I hope not only with your money that you'll consider volunteering. The more we get, the less you have to be assured of being there every week if that's a problem. It's fun. It's just fun. It's a fun crowd to be with. We have as Nancy would tell you, 6 months ago I couldn't boil water. And
now you can make hot dogs.
Now I can boil water. But, right, a lot of progress. But it's fun, and it's just a service. To see the faces when they come in, and to see a good meal there, and they're appreciative. This Mary's Kitchen is a true charity. A true charity, because it depends on your gift. Gifts of the United Way, which is our gifts too. But there is one person that receives a salary, and that's just a portion. Marilyn, a portion of her time, a good portion of it, here at St. Mary's, in administrating this, taking care of our grants that we get and that type of thing. But that's the only paid person involved in it. Everybody else is giving of their time and their talents. I know Mark Hollick could not be here tonight. I think it's his mother-in-law that's sick. But Mark, I don't know how many hours Mark puts in it, picking up our stuff, from Sam's or wherever it might be. But the pickup truck, and he's down there all the time. And before you leave tonight, pick up that card on your table. Look at it, send an envelope. Hope you'll make a decision tonight to make a contribution. But if you don't, make a decision in the near future, or no later than your next decisions on your charities. as I said, you know, we're serving up to 1,000, almost 1,000 meals a week, and as you can see, you can't do that on $15,000. You can't do it on $15,000 plus the USDA food we get. You got to have more money. And if we're going to do this, we need to do it right. We need to serve good meals, and you know, that's a part of it. So please consider giving tonight, or if you can't give tonight or can't make that decision tonight, that you'll do that tomorrow or as soon as you can. And thank you for supporting tonight. And again, Mary and Donna, these ladies, they go sleep good tonight. They have worked their tails off for about 3 days. And of course it shows tonight. Thank you again for coming.
If you'd like to buy one of these beautiful bouquets for your Valentine, we are selling them for $10. We can't let you have the vase, but we'll wrap it up in plastic for you. Take it with you. And if you see Dee Warner, he will sell you anything.
A little bit of bean salad and that's it.
Oh,
Brussels sprouts.
Brussels sprouts.